Sadgurum Bhaje. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So the meaning of the Guru Stuti goes like this. Let us praise the glory of the spiritual master, who is an embodiment of devotion to the Lord, who protects the devotees of the Lord by offering them the auspicious name of the Lord, Bhagavan Nama Dayak. And among the Bhakti also, the Prema Bhakti is what is more important. And the second shloka highlights the Prema Bhakti. Let us praise the glory of the spiritual master, the Guru, Sadguru, who himself is a devotee with the divine love. Prema Bhakti is a divine love. Who is the profounder of the path of the divine love, who shares the divine love, and who is an abode of the divine love towards his devotees. So with this, we will be chanting this regularly. So I will share this shlokas also with you, so we can slowly try to learn these shlokas. When we say of Bhakti Yoga, whenever I think of the concept of Bhakti, this shloka comes to my mind. What is the shloka? व्यादस्य आचरणं ध्रुवस्य च वयः विद्या गजेन्द्रस्य का जातिः विदुरस्य यादवपदे उग्रस्य किं पौरुषम् कुब्जाया कमनीय रूपम अतिकम किं वा सुधाम्नोदनम् भक्त्या तुष्यति केवलम् न च गुणैः भक्तिप्रियो माधवः भक्तिप्रियो माधवः. When we say bhakti, we always connect it with Bhagavan, offering our bhakti devotion to God. So when we say bhakti, bhakti is not a new term to all of us, especially I see most of us are from the Indian origin. So bhakti, the word bhakti is not something new. We are all familiar. And we connect immediately. Bhakti means we connect it, of course, with Bhagavan. Not just that alone. We connect with Matru Bhakti, Pitru Bhakti, Guru Bhakti, Rashtra Bhakti. There are many forms in which we use the word bhakti usually. What is this bhakti? That's what we are going to see in this whole 1 week. What is bhakti? Who is the true bhakta? How bhakti as a yoga? You have heard the word yoga, but how bhakti also as a stream of yoga is relevant in today's modern time. So this shloka here, I will not go into this in detail. We'll come back to this little later, but as a prelude for today's discussion, it says, Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunaihi bhakti priyo madavaha. So it says that the Lord gets happy or pleased only by bhakti and not by any other criteria. If you see this picture, the shloka highlights all these devotees. It says first, Vyadasya acharanam. Vyadha means a hunter. Guha was a hunter, the friend of Rama in Ramayana, whom Rama considers his soulmate. Ramasya Atma Samasaka, Valmiki says. We always, in today's modern world, we call something called the soulmate. Many say, oh, he is my soulmate, she is my soulmate. If Rama, Lord Rama, considered someone to be his soulmate, it is Guha. Who is Guha? What kind of devotee was he? He is not even saying Hanuman to be his soulmate. He is saying Guha. If you see the Ramayana, Ramasya Atma Samasakha. Not just Sakha, Atma Samasakha. That means Atma is soul, so soulmate. Whom? Guha. Why Guha is considered to be the soulmate? We'll see that. Again, Shabari. You see the small postage, this Indian post, which you postal stamp you see here, dedicated to Shabari. We sing, right, that song, कौन कहते हैं भगवान काते नहीं बेर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं. Shabari is also a Vyada. Actually, she is a huntress who became a great devotee of the Lord. If Acharana, if Bhakti defines all the procedural devotion, the rituals, the Acharana that you are supposed to offer to the Lord, what kind of procedures, what kind of rituals, what kind of Acharana did Guha or Shabari offer to the Lord? They did not know any procedures of the worship. Not knowing how to offer, Shabari even offered the juta, the bitten fruits to Rama. If education, if you should know more Shastras, more scriptures, Sanskrit should be known, Bhagavad Gita or Veda should be known, then what education did Gajendra had? The second is what you see, Gajendra, who was an animal, an elephant, who did not go to any school nor Gurukula to learn bhakti. Vidya Gajendrasya ka jatihi. Next, Dhruvasya cha vayaha. You see the second picture down there on the left side is Dhruva, who was a small boy of hardly 5 years old who went to do tapasya and had the sakshatkara, the darshan of the Lord. Dhruvasya cha vayaha. Education, the age is not a criteria to do devotion. Many of us postpone to do yoga or to do devotion. अरे ये सब retire होने के बाद. But if that is the case, then what is the age of Dhruva here? Who was just hardly 5 years when he had the sakshatkar of the Lord, because of which he got to become a pole star, the Dhruva Nakshatra. So definitely age is also not the criteria. This is what we see. Vidya Gajendrasya ka. Education, like Gajendra, he did not have any education. He was an animal, an elephant. But at the right time of his difficulty, he knew whom to approach. He called Bhagavan Srimad Narayana. Hmm? Ka jatihi vidurasya yadavapate ugrasya kim paurusham. Vidura, in the Mahabharata character we know, when there were many people whose place was offered for Krishna to stay in Hastinapura, like Duryodhana, Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, and everyone, but Krishna chose to stay at the house of Vidura, and it is told that he was born as a son of a servant maid, though of course the Kripa of Vedavyasa, but he was born as a son of a servant maid, and he was living in a humble small house, not a palatial bungalow. And Krishna volunteered to go to his house. When he went there, Vidura was not there. His wife, who was there, who didn't know what to do, what to offer to Krishna, who had bananas, it is told, out of the devotion, she just removed the scalp of the banana and she had thrown away the banana and she gave the scalp of the banana skin to Krishna, and Krishna did accept that also. And if Paurusha is important, then Krishna's grandfather Ugrasena, who couldn't even control his own son Kamsa, but Krishna, after winning the Mathura from Kamsa, gave back that to that old, ripe old man of Ugrasena, who didn't even have the Paurusha to control his own son. And if Krishna looks for the dhanam, the money which someone have, Kimva Sudamno Dhanam, what money did Sudama had? He didn't even have some proper prasadam to offer, just some dried poha, avalaki, that he brought and gave. That too very hesitantly he offered it to the Lord. but to that Kubera, Krishna gave Kuchela, to that Kuchela, Krishna gave Kubera Sampat. Right? So Kuchela or Sudama was yet another example. And finally, we may think Krishna, especially when you say, was very partial to the gopis because they were all so beautiful. So Krishna is a Sri Lola. His devotion was only to the beautiful gopis. If that is there, Kubja ya Kamaniya Rupam Atikam. The last picture you see is Kubja, a servant maid of Kamsa in Mathura, who used to make sandalwood paste for him every day. Krishna goes to her hut, and that alingana, that hug which he would give to Radha or the gopis, he gave it to this Kubja also. If you would see the beauty, then he would not have gone to Kubja's place. So all these shows us you don't have any physical external criterias of the rituals, the religious rituals, what we think is bhakti, or the shastras, the scriptural knowledge which we think as bhakti, or age which we think if you are age old then we can do bhakti, doesn't apply with Dhruva or Prahlada, or the jati, if you are Brahmins of the high caste then we can offer bhakti. Oh, I am of this caste, that caste. First of all, there is nothing called caste. If at all you want to see also, that doesn't come on the way of our bhakti marga here. It is beyond all those, is what is proven by Vidura. And not even your physical valor, strength, which is what Ugrasena shows, not even your money, which is what is proven by Sudama, and not even your beauty is what proven by Kubja. So Krishna wants to look at only your bhakti and not anything else. Having said this, it is, we need to understand bhakti as a yoga. Bhakti is already there. When we go to temple or anywhere, we go there, we get to see bhakti as such. Um, we get to uh, see a lot. But what bhakti as a yoga, this is what we need to think here. So, what comes to your mind when you hear the term bhakti or bhakti yoga as such? Usually, I put a question and make people to answer for short of time today. I'm not going to ask you to answer. Maybe you can type it in your chat box when I say what comes to your mind when you hear the term bhakti yoga. Usually, what comes, you see, it's about devotion to God in temple, hmm, or going to Tirtha Kshetras, pilgrimages. When you have devotion, how do you show your devotion to the Lord? Or going by going to pilgrimages, Tirtha Kshetras, or by offering the puja, flowers, the arati, the prasadam mainly. When we say bhakti, bhakti is not complete without the prasadam, the japa, the japamala, and all those, or the religious symbols, what we put on our face, the face marks. Nowadays, it has become in the modern version tattoos also. The more you are devoted, then you have to put big tattoos of Shiva or Krishna or Hanuman or whomsoever is Isha Devata. You know, the more you put tattoos. In fact, I was amazed to see the devotion of a great young boy who had, Shiva all around his chest and, on his arms and back, everywhere Shiva, whole body. What a great devotion it is that he is completely covered with Shiva everywhere. I was really thrilled, amazed. I even did not have that kind of, in my childhood, I had small tattoo of Krishna on my shoulder here, arms here. So I was thinking, wow, I should do like this man to prove my devotion. What a kind of devotion he is having. 2 weeks afterwards, I happened to see him, his thing, because he comes to a swimming pool. So therefore, in a swimming pool, you have the Nijarupa Darshanam. Okay. So 2 weeks afterwards, I'm seeing him there. His statue was changed. It is not just Shiva. It became Krishna. Hare, how can you change this? In fact, I thought it's a permanent. He says, no, no, you can. Nowadays, there are tattoo removers. And the season changed. It's all Krishna. And yesterday, I happened to see the same fellow. It is Rajinikanth. Not even Krishna, it's Rajinikanth, because a new movie of Rajinikanth got released. What is it, Jailer or something? And so it's Rajinikanth all around here. So even you can't think of the devotion based on these external things, including your tattoo. So bhakti is not about all this, but all this becomes meaningful and purposeful only with bhakti. Your puja or temple worship or the tirtha yatra or even the prasad that you offer. Often we usually, there is a recent beautiful poster which I see. I put it in our ashram also. When bhakti enters a home, it becomes a mandir. When bhakti enters your food, it becomes prasadam. When bhakti enters your hunger, that becomes a brata. When bhakti enters water, it becomes tirtha. When bhakti enters your tour, it becomes a yatra. When bhakti enters a heart, it becomes atma. When bhakti enters a man, he becomes a human. Human is a man with humbleness. Bhakta is one who is having humbleness. So that is how bhakti makes everything more purposeful, more meaningful. So having said that, what comes to your mind when you see this scene? I'm sure you are able to see this. Look at this beautiful small child. There are many, many people around. Even in the background, you are seeing. Perhaps it's raining there, right? And what is this child doing? Holding an umbrella for this idol of the statue, the Vigraha of Lord Panduranga, Vitala. Probably it is taken at Pandharpur, right? So what do we see here? Is it a ritual that we see here the child is doing? Is he doing a puja? Is he doing an abhishekam or chanting a mantra? What is the child doing there? He is just showing his love. For him, Vitala is not just an ordinary statue or a vigraham. He feels, hey, if I am getting drenched in the rain, I am holding the umbrella. Similarly, Vitala here standing in the rain. He's not thinking, Are, he is Bhagavan. He was Govardhana Giridhari who would have lifted the whole mountain, right? We would say, Are, Bhagavan, tum aja, if Govardhan ko uta and protect me from the rain is what we would think, we would demand. But look at this innocent child, not thinking like that way. Hare Vitala is getting drenched in the rain. I have to protect him. That innocence, that pure love. This is what is called as bhakti. This is what is actually what is called as bhakti. So before we see further, we see uh, what Swami Vivekananda, an inspiration to all of us, he says Bhakti Yoga is a path of systematized devotion for the attainment of union with Absolute. It is the easiest and surest path to realization. And also he says that Bhakti is greater than karma, greater than the Raja Yoga, greater than all other paths of yoga, because these for an object in view, while Bhakti is on fructification, its own means and its own ends. The complete works. So that's what Swami Vivekananda says. We all know that there are the four different streams of yoga, right? In generally, we all know that yoga, the very word yoga, has its meaning called the union. What does yoga mean? Yoga is that which unites, we say. Yujjate anena iti yoga. Yoga is that which unites. Yujjate anena iti yoga. It is that which unites. Unites what? Usually, if you ask in the yoga field, the academic field of yoga, yoga teachers, and today in the YouTube and everywhere, they immediately say it unites your body, mind, and your breath and all. It is already united there. Your body is connected with the mind, everything that union is already there, right? You don't have to specially unite, it is already there. In fact, the whole aim of yoga, in a way, if you technically see, it is to take away this union of the body mind, separate. Krishna says it is not union, it is viyoga actually. Dukkha sayoga viyogam yoga sannihitam. But having said the union, what is the real union here? The union of the Jivatma with Paramatma. Jivatma Paramatmanayor Aikyata is yoga. That Aikyata here is Jivatma Paramatma Aikyata. We all know that the Sachidananda Parabrahman is a vast ocean of which we, the Jivatmas, are the waves. Just from the ocean, the waves come and go back, waves come and go back. We, the Jivatmas, have come from this Paramatma and we need to go back to him. That is the whole aim of the goal of life, which the goal is called as moksha or mukti or the kaivalya, nirvana. In various terms, it is called, usually in Bhakti Yoga, it is a mukti, we call it as. In Jnana Yoga, it is called as the nirvana. In Raja Yoga, it is called as kaivalya or moksha. Bhakti, usually the term is called mukti. That is the ultimate goal. In different terms in each yoga streams it is called, but ultimately it is to be free from this bondage of this worldly life and be in that blissful state of existence, going back home from where you have come from. The wave needs to go back to the ocean and merge with the ocean. That is the ultimate aim of life, the goal of life. And all streams of yoga, yoga ultimately is taking you back, Jivatma to Paramatma, making the wave to unite with the ocean, right? So all these streams, may it be Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, we know the path of intellect, where enormous analytical mind is required, analytical Shakti, the Buddhyatmak Shakti is required, which is not quite common. We see a path rare Manushyanam Sahasreshu. One among thousand can take this path of Jnana Yoga. We see one Swami Vivekananda who had that ability to question when he went to Ramakrishna, he never stopped. He always questioned his guru. The first ever question, right, he had when he went to Guru is there God? Does God exist? If God exists, is there a possibility to see that God? Third, have you seen that God? Fourth, can you show him to me? These were the four questions with which Narendranath went around to every guru possible. Is there God? Everyone will say yes. So Bhagavan to hai. Is it possible to see him? हाँ. So संत कबीर ने देख लिया, मीराबाई ने देख लिया, चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने देख लिया, इन्होंने देख लिया, सब आप देखा क्या? Have you seen? In fact, it was asked to a modern guru in Bangalore. A disciple asked, Guruji, have you seen the God? Wonderful Guruji, who realized perhaps the Mahavakyam of the Upanishad. He said, I see the mirror every day. So you understand, right? So, of course, Vedanta says Bhagavan is with us. You don't have to go elsewhere. Bhakti also, that is what ultimately is showing. That's what we are going to understand. But it is not that I alone or God is in me alone. He is Sarvantaryami. That is what Bhakti shows us. So when you ask, Vivekananda asked, have you seen? Oh yes, but it's not just you have seen, but you should show me also. So this kind of conviction, this kind of questioning, the Jnana Yogic power, only few, like Ramana Maharshi, Vivekananda, it's not a path of common mass. And even Raja Yoga. Today, everyone seems to do this. Raja Yoga is nothing but the Ashtanga Yoga of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. We are all doing. There are many who are, I know there are many who are yoga teachers here itself in this group who are attending this class for me. You are all doing the Raja Yoga. To what extent? For the Moksha Praptihi, then it will take Aneka Janma. Aneka Janma Samsiddhaha Tado Yanti Parangatim. It is not so easy to attain even through Raja Yoga. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam, a great yogi, the Bharata Yogishwara, who took 3 Janmas through the Raja Yoga to attain that state ultimately through the Dhyanam. He was doing meditation to a great extent, no doubt, with complete Sanyama, with complete control, with complete Pratyahara. He was doing Dhyanam. And as he was meditating, he was about to attain something higher goal. He suddenly felt a tickling sensation in his leg. What is happening? I'm feeling a tickling sensation in my leg. He just opened and he saw a small deer, a baby deer. His baby deer was so dear to him, licking his leg. He looked upon around for his mother. The mother is not seen. And he took pity on this baby deer. Are, I should give it some water. I should give it some milk. In Kannada, there are many Kannadigas here. There is a song, film song, Jinke Marina, Jinke Marina. So he started looking into this Jinke Mari. Jinke Mari is the deer, a small deer, baby deer. He started looking into this always. If he closes his eyes for dhyanam, I didn't give milk to this or give a grass to this deer, whatever. Feed it. Whether the deer slept or not, he thinks of it always. Now, many of us also are like this. You go to meditation, then not the deer, but the dog which you have at home. So all these things, it is then when you get to think of all the domestic things when you sit in the meditation. So where do we think of the Lord? So even the Raja Yoga, today we are doing asanas for fitness sake, not for moksha sake. Frankly speaking, everyone are doing for health sake, fitness sake. But if you have to attain sakshatkara, it is by even standing in one particular asana for hours together, unless the divinity descends and gives you darshan. It is not that easy. Karma yoga seems to be very easy because you don't have to do anything special. Whatever you are doing, right? All that yad karma karomi tattatakilam shambho tavara. Whatever I am doing, just offering it to the Lord. Is it so easy? How much of attachment, the selfishness we have, once you give it up with selflessness, then the action, the karma becomes a karma yoga. Not so easy for all of us. It looks like easy, but to give it up, to let go is not so easy. We have a lot of clutches there. So therefore, it's what Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, and all great masters of the recent time have endorsed this path as the easiest path. Here we see Vivekananda says that each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity by controlling nature, external and internal. Do it either by work, that's what the Karma Yoga, worship Bhakti Yoga, psychic control Raja Yoga, philosophy Jnana Yoga, by one or more or all of these and be free ultimately, he says. But then he himself is saying the easiest is Bhakti Yoga among all. So you see even the logo of the Ramakrishna mission where all the 4 yogas have been given. The rising sun indicates Jnana Yoga, the lotus indicates Bhakti Yoga, and the waves of water indicates Karma Yoga, and the serpent, the Kundalini awakening, it represents Raja Yoga, and the Hamsa, which indicates the Paramatman, Tanno Hamsa Prachodaya. So, seeing all those, we just quickly see what the word, now we know what yoga is, we would quickly understand what bhakti is, and then connecting these two, you know how it becomes the stream of the bhakti yoga is what we are going to see the next. So the very word, someone is drawing, Priya, please don't do that, maybe a child is there. The very word bhakti, Priya, who is that? Please, how do we undo it? I don't know if Praveen is there. So the very word bhakti is derived from the Sanskrit word, the root word dhatu called bhaj, bhaja. Like yoga came from yuj, right? When we say the word yoga, it has come from the root word of yuj, yujjate anenaiti yogaha. Similarly, bhaja sevayam is a root word for bhakti. So what is the root word for bhakti? I'm going to give you all a exam. Okay. On the last day, 7 days from today, 20, until 20th, every day we are going to have. Tomorrow also we welcome anyone to come, and afterwards you will not welcome any new one. So only the people who are already regularly there. So we will, keep them only. So I hope you all are there already in the group of the Bhakti Yoga Saptaham group. So only those who are there, I'm going to share the link only in that group. Hmm? So only when um, those who are in the group will get the link. In case if any one of you who have joined today because probably it has been shared in other groups also the link. But after this, if at all, I'll share my WhatsApp number. So please kind of connect with me. Then I will put you in the Bhakti Yoga Saptaham group. In that group alone, I will share the link. And the last day we will have an exam, and those who have passed this exam will all get a e-certificate in your name. We will get a e-certificate of giving this first level course on Bhakti Yoga. Then we will have further deeper programs also. Coming back, so the very root word of Bhakti is from the word bhaja. So that's why you see all connected to, for example, for the root word for Veda is with, from with Veda, Vidya, Vidwan. So from that root word connected all those how it evolves. Similarly, the root word for bhakti is bhaj. Bhaja sevayam. What does it mean? Serving with love. So bhakti, the very word means serving with love. Again, there's another extension of this. Bhajanam bhaktihi. Bhaja sevayam bhaktihi. Second definition is bhajanam bhaktihi. In Bhajanam Bhaktihi, again, two meaning. One is to destroy the hatred and attachment towards materialistic things, to overcome the delusion and ignorance is Bhakti. Second, Bhajanam Bhaktihi again. This Bhajanam, very famous, we all know Bhajan. We sing Bhajans. Bhakti means Bhajan is what we say. So Bhajanam Bhaktihi again means to sing and enjoy the name and glory of the Lord, that is Bhakti. And third, Swami Akhandanand Saraswati Maharaj, the great Acharya from Vrindavan, who wrote the Narada Bhakti Darshanam, he says, Bhago Bhaktihi. That means to divide oneself from the word and give oneself to God. That is Bhago Bhaktihi. Divide one from the world, detachment from the world, and attachment towards God. This is Bhakti. So these are the basic definitions we see. One is Bhaja Sevayam. Bhakti, the root word is Bhaja, which means Seva. So Bhaja Sevayam, from where the word Bhakti. This much if you know, that is good enough. Another term is Bhajanam Bhaktihi is another definition. You know. This is the most important definition. Tomorrow I will elaborate on the scriptures of Bhakti. Though I said scriptural knowledge is not required, only the love is required. But then we need some guidance of how to go about. So scriptures, tasmad shastram pramanam te karya vyavasthito. The shastra has come to our rescue, and therefore one of the predominant scripture for Bhakti Yoga is Narada Bhakti Sutra. Narada Maharishi is the greatest Acharya, the profound of the path of Bhakti. In fact, he is the guru of all great Maharishis like Valmiki, who wrote the Ramayana, was the greatest Rama Bhakta, whose text is the epitome, main reference for Rama Bhakti. Vedavyasa, who gave us Bhagavatam, which is the great source for Krishna Bhakti. For both of them, Narada is the Guru. Then great Bhaktas like Dhruva, Prahlada, for everyone, Narada. Naram Dadatiti Narada, one who voluntarily goes and gives the knowledge of the Lord, the knowledge of Bhakti. Even for Bhakti, you require a knowledge, right? Jnanam. That is what Narada gives. So he is the profounder of the Bhakti Sutra, Narada Bhakti Sutra. So we will learn important sutras also, and later in the next level course elaborately on the Bhakti Sutras. So according to Narada Bhakti Sutra, the definition of Bhakti is like this. You can all repeat it after me. Satvasmin Parama Prema Rupa. Satvasmin Parama Prema Rupa. All together you can join with me and chant Satvasmin Parama Prema Rupa. Sa to Asmin Parama Prema. If you split Sa to Asmin Parama Prema Rupa, that devotion, Bhakti, verily is of the nature Rupa. Its nature is what? Parama Prema, not just Prema, Parama Prema, which means supreme love. Supreme love, Parama Prema. Yes, Andy, I have supreme love towards what? Towards my lover, towards my beloved, towards my husband, towards my mother, towards my house, towards my job, towards my car, towards my dog, the cat, or towards the deer. Is it? No. All those also is equally important. I don't deny. Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Rashtra Devo Bhava, even Atiti, the unknown guest who comes to our house. You should look at him also as God. So it becomes bhakti when you look at them as God, the God in them, not them as such. So it's not so easy. I'll tell you tomorrow, I'll elaborate on this concept. So we think it's so easy. Kya hai? I look at everyone as God, it's so easy. No, very difficult, sir. Practically, that is the most challenging situation. Hmm? Because if you look at them as God, that means to say you accept them as they are without finding any fault in them, accepting them as they are. Is it possible to accept your mother-in-law as she is? Is it possible to accept your daughter-in-law as she is? Forget your husband, forget everyone. If you are able to accept your mother-in-law as she is, then you, not only her, even you are God, I would say. More challenging situations in life, right? So it is of the not just the normal mundane love, Parama Prema Rupa, supreme love. Love without a selfishness. The love, the normal love, the mundane love that we have selfishness there. I love someone because I expect something back from them. Even with mom, the mom, why she is getting disappointed when the daughter-in-law comes? Because she expects that the son will be loving her all through the life, taking care of her. But now when the daughter-in-law comes, the love is shared, so she is not able to accept it. Even if he is not sharing his part of the love, if still I love, then that is prema rupa. Otherwise, it's only kama. Kama again is not just the lust, selfish love. There is something what I expect in return and then I give. It's a transaction, it's a business transaction which we do. Even with Bhagavan, you are showing love to your Balaji because you give Bal and expect him to give money. We are giving Bal. Why he is called Balaji? Someone asked me. I said because we give him Bal, right? We cut the hair, give to him, and we expect money to give from him. Lakshmi to come. He is having Lakshmi, Srinivasa. Uh, So his name is Srinivasa because Sri lives in him. But what happens? He is making all of us Srinivasa and he becomes Balaji. He is only filled with Bal there and he gives Lakshmi to us. So we are becoming Srinivasa and he becomes a Balaji. A transaction which we do with him. One small story with which I complete. I know it's already time up because it's only 8 here, 8 past 10, 8 past, I'm sorry, 10 minutes after 8, 8, 10 in Dubai. It is 9:40 at India. You need to go to bed. Hmm? So, one it so happened when I was probably in my third standard in our hometown, Madurai, we got a courier. Courier was from, again, the same, from Middle East, from Bahrain. Courier was from Bahrain. My chacha, Chitappa, my father's brother, Babai, he was in Bahrain. So we know the courier has come from Bahrain. And for the past 3 years, he couldn't visit India. He was so busy with his work project. So probably he has sent some gift to us. The box was a little bigger. So all the children, we all got so enthusiastic. I said, Arey, Chitapa, send some good chocolates. My brother, who was a little elder, he said, no, Chitapa, send some Walkman. I'm talking of some 30 years back. So, Walkman was something new for us. So we were expecting a Walkman from Dubai, from Bahrain. So he said, Walkman. My father thought some, sent for him. Mother thought it's a Kame soap or a Lux soap for her. Grandmother thought, no, no, it's some costly medicine which I wanted. My son has sent it from there. Each one had their own thought process. When my father started opening the pack, the Annamaya Kosha got opened, the Pranamaya Kosha got opened, very well packed, precious thing from Bahrain had come. Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and now the fifth layer, we are all so happy, eager to see the chocolate, or the Walkman, or the soap, or the scent, or the watch, or the medicine, but it was full of hair inside. What is this hair, my? All are shocked. And then there is a letter inside in the share. My father takes it out, and his brother has written there, my dear brother. It is 3 years since my son so and so was born. And as per the family tradition, we need to cut the hair at Tirupati to Kuladevata, the shave of the hair. Because of my work project, I am not able to come there. And so the son's hair has been growing more and more. And in those days, it was nowadays, it's not a problem. Even boys, in fact, boys have longer hair and girls have shorter hair. Boys are, see, we are dressing more, I'm overdressed, and girls are, I don't have to say. So nowadays the time is changing, but I'm talking of 30 years back. So the boy had longer hair. We have to put him in the school now. He's already 3+. We have to put him in school. So therefore we couldn't come. And therefore I thought we will shave it off here itself. And we have packed it. And would you please go to Tirupati and offer it? Then I said, I was hardly 10 years or so then. I said, why did Baba Chittappa send it to us here? He could have straight away couriered it from Behrin to Balaji only, to Tirupati only. Why did he send it and make you to go? So why I'm saying this is how our bhakti is. A transactional bhakti, expecting something or just making it a ritual or something. Whereas as Narada says, it is Parama Prema Rupa. It is of the nature of the supreme love, right? Selflessness, supreme love means here selflessness. What does it mean to be selfless? Let us see tomorrow more on the aspects of the different definitions of bhakti that we see. We just conclude with a small bhajan, right? Which is well known to all of us, which in fact indicates what bhakti is. अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणकीवल्लभम्. Repeat. अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, कौन कहते भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा की जैसे बुलाते नहीं, तुम मीरा की जैसे बुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कौन कहते हैं भगवान काते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान काते नहीं, बेर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं, बेर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं, रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं. कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा की जैसे सुलाते नहीं, माँ यशोदा की जैसे सुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं. Nobody is dancing. See, now you are dance with the lords wherever you are. Cross your hand like this, everyone. You are holding hand with Krishna here, and we are dancing. कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं गोपियों की तरफ तुम नचाते नहीं गोपियों की तरफ तुम नचाते नहीं अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.